Well, how are you doing tonight? It's the 22nd of December, and I hope you've gotten all your Christmas shopping done. Tonight I'm dedicating this painting to Ava. She's my daughter-in-law's granddaughter, and she loves pinks and purples. So we'll be doing this and dedicating this to Ava. She's 9 years old and a very girly girl. And so hopefully she'll like what we're doing. Okay, well, I've taped my canvas and got it prepared. The 12 by 12 canvas that I said. I want to give you the colors that we're using tonight. It's going to be mostly pinks and purples. This is called Purple Lake. And this is by Creative Inspirations. And this is the one I'm saying I do not recommend for seniors to buy this big a jug. Even though it is cheaper, I still feel like it's too hard to get into. And it's very hard to get the paint out of it. So I would not recommend these big jugs, even though they're supposed to be more economical. Not for seniors anyway. Now I had these little pre-mixed pouring acrylics, and I'm trying to turn it upside down because I'm at the end of it. And this one is amethyst, and this one is lilac. And then I have a royal deep pearl, royal purple, Artesia. And this one is got some shimmer to it. So this one should be very, very pretty. Then I've got the acrylic basic white. I thought I'd try a different white base. I have the liquid, the pink. It's called Bright Light Magenta. I have the powerful pink. And this is the pre-mixed acrylics also. And then I have a new one for me. I just got my Artesias, a lot of the Artesia colors in the other day. That and some Amsterdam. So this one is called Blooming Peach. And it's got an iridescent glow to it. So this should be very, very pretty. And we're going to use that as a highlight in the painting. So I'll bring the canvas down and we'll start painting. So tonight we're going to take and use this strainer. It's a different strainer than what I've been using. The strainer I've been using, you can see has just holes, like slits. Well, this one has holes in the, like a flower. So we're going to try this, and I've never used it before, so I don't know if it'll work or not. But if it doesn't work, we'll just take the paint off and go again. So I'm going to take a little puddle of white on the bottom where we're going to start with. And hopefully I've got that in the middle. And I'm going to start with white because I'm going to put white around the corners. And I have got this a little bit thicker tonight, hoping that I can get it to drain out slowly so that I keep my I don't know if that's going to drain. I don't see it. We're going to try it. I have a lot of this deep purple, and you can see it's a little thick. It's a mound on a mound, but it seems like it's a little thick, so I'm just going to add just a touch of water.
Okay, now I'm seeing some things come out. So I want to let that kind of start oozing out and see if it's coming out all over. It doesn't seem to be coming out over here as it's coming out over there, but not over here. So maybe I can add a little bit more, see if it'll start coming out. And I'm going to go light, dark, light, dark. I don't have a lot of this lilac left, so I'm going to try to get two layers out of it. So we'll see. No, I think I'm only going to get one layer out of that one. I have to find some more of the lilac. I don't have any more for this painting, so we'll see how it turns out. Okay, now I think I want to put some white in between. That's coming out, and it's mixing, the white is mixing with the purple and giving it a little bit, like over here it's almost got like a gray. And here comes the lilac out. So now I'm going to put a little white in between. To try to push that lilac out. Here it comes. You can see it. It's very pretty. Is it coming out over there? It's kind of blotchy. And I have used Liquitex Gloss Medium. I did not put any Floetrol at all because I didn't want any sales. But that lilac is kind of thin because it's one of those already mixed ones. So it's coming out pretty, kind of overtaking it. So this might not work. And, you know, if it doesn't work, I can do something else with it. I'll put balloons on it, and I'll do balloon kisses and make it a pretty, the colors are so pretty. I put parchment paper underneath here today so that I could catch the drippings as they come off, because I feel like it's going to be really pretty. These colors mixing are going to just be really pretty. And then here comes the pink. You can see it mixing with the white. I'm going to put a little bit of white in between again. Just looks like that lilac was just too thin, and it just overtook the purple. So when I come back in, maybe the purple will stay in the middle, because I want to end with the purple. Okay, let's see about this magenta. This is one of those pre-mixed too, so it's thin.
So as you see, I have put down my, what they call flow extender, and that's where you put down your base coat and you let it run and you're trying to smooth it out, and it's continuing, and I will come around the edges and make sure that the edges are covered, and some of these edges will go off. I got this new little neat, I don't know what you call it, but it's a good grip flip and fold omelet turner that I've seen them using on the YouTubes. I've seen Jeremy, and I've seen Mina Villegas, and I've seen several. I've been watching a lot of YouTubes just to see how everything's done, because my biggest thing is, I think, my consistency of my paint. So I've been trying to watch to see if I could make sure that I've got the right consistency of paint. Now, I've put the white in there, but you can see the gold is still coming up. So I'm going to do this pearl, this iridescent pink. And I'm going to put some white in there, because then I'm going to start back with the purples. And I'm going to lose a lot of these edges as I come around. Now I'm going to do that iridescent purple. That deep purple that was the Artesia. Okay, it's coming along. It's kind of, I want to put enough paint. I've actually got enough paint to flood the canvas right this minute. And you know, I just wanted to finish with this deep purple, this kind of a deep color. So I better put a little bit of white in there, because to separate the two purples. Else they're just gonna mix. Okay, now we're gonna end with this one. We're gonna see if it stays in there, in the middle. And what I'm doing now is I'm just gonna let it try to flow off out of there, and then I'm gonna lift it, and I'm going to have my paper towel ready, and hopefully I will have a pretty center, and if I don't, I know how to fix it. And then I'll be bringing the sticks through what they call wrecking to hopefully give it a very pretty center. So here we go. Oh, that's pretty. Now I see some bubbles, so we're going to actually pop some bubbles. This is a butane torch, and when you have bubbles in it, it will cause your canvas, if they pop after they've dried, then you'll have a white canvas, and we don't want that, because you'll have like a hole in your painting. So I'm just quickly coming through. I've got that one bubble right there. Might have to take a skewer and actually pop it, because it just doesn't want to pop. Come on. I think it might have just popped. Let's see, a couple more. And we're just getting these to the edges, so that's pretty. And I'm going to take the edges off. So that's why I put the parchment paper underneath, because the parchment paper has is going to catch what they call skins, and the skins are what we want to make jewelry out of. So here I go. I'm going to actually tip it my way first and just barely take it off. Okay. And I'm going to come this way. You can see how much paint's on there. A lot of paint. I don't want to lose my center. So I want to take it, always take it back to the center. This is a very slow process. And you can see the paint moving. I watch, almost every night I watch a video. I've been watching the Massey Studios. It's Jeremy and Lee, and they've had the 12 Days of Christmas. And every day they do a different video. And it's been a lot of fun to watch. And since I'm fairly new to this, you know, I've only been doing it a month, so I get a lot of information, even though they're kind of corny and they have a lot of fun. Well, I'm getting a lot of information. Sometimes theirs doesn't come out perfect either, but they know how to fix it. Mina Viegas is excellent. Another one is Molly's Artistry. I first started watching Gina DeLuca, which was very, see how pretty that's going to be? Even though we lost some of our design, we didn't really lose a lot of our color. So I just wanted to go over the edge and then back. So that one went a little bit more over the edge, but I love those purple lines coming back in there. So we're going to go over that edge down there. Okay, and then back. And we've got one more edge. And then what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to check my corners. And then I'm going to try to do some what they call wrecking. Oh, look at those skins. That will all dry, and then you can put, make your jewelry. Kind of lost my center, and I didn't want to do that. But I think the colors are just beautiful on this. I'm going to try to bring this back to the center, and I see a bubble or two that I'm going to have to pop. And so I've lost a little of my design, which I did not want to do. But I really like the colors. I love the gold and the purples and the pinks and the iridescent, that iridescent pink. And I love the streaks of the purple. Let's see if we can take some more of those streaks down. Maybe bring some back here. So it's not quite what I was going for, of course. And I'm not for sure I really like that. I'm just going to touch the corners with a little bit of the color that it has on the, check my colors. Check my corners. So I put the center back in, and I'm just going to pour a little bit of the purples in that center so that when I come in I have a dark color to wreck it. I want to see what this looks like, so I don't know if it'll work or not, but I don't think I'll use that strainer again. I think I like the other strainer because it comes out in better lines. Okay, let's see what happens here. Oh, I love that. Isn't that pretty? I put the strainer back on and put some colors in and then put that back on, and you know, I just love that, and I'm not going to wreck it. I think it's very pretty. And look at the colors that came out of that strainer. I'm going to try to put it here on the parchment and see if I can get some pretty skins out of it. So let me take my gloves off and torch it. I think I'm going to leave it alone and just torch it and see if she likes it. If she doesn't, I think somebody else will. So as you can see, I finished the painting and I set it aside, and now I'm going to do the A. I'm going to put gloves on and I'm going to pour out the colors just on the saran wrap. And I have put parchment paper underneath because I hope when this is done, I'm just going to pour it over to the parchment paper and have some pretty skins to make some pretty jewelry. Okay, we're going to move the A, and you can see I kind of put a little bit on the saran wrap. I moved it a little bit so that I could see, just marked it around the outside so that I know that I need to pour quite a bit. So what I put on the bottom is going to actually be a highlight. So I'm just going to kind of squiggle it around. I'm not going to try to do a pattern. I'm just going to squiggle the different colors. And I'm going to use up most of my paint, but I might put a little bit in there later. So let's put the bright pink, the magenta. Make sure that I'm covering it. I've got my trusty drying rack here so that I can let it drip. And let me get a popsicle stick to pull it up out of the paint. Oh, that's pretty. I've got a little bit not covered, and instead of dipping it again, I think I'm just going to pick it up with my fingers and coat that area. I don't want to ruin what I've got, and if you dip it too many times, I can just take my finger and run it into that spot with some paint. It'll drip right off the sides, and that's what I'm going to do with the sides anyway. I'm going to come and take my finger along the sides might be out of the camera range. So I'm just going to take my finger and go along the sides and make sure that the sides are coated. Like down there, they're not. So I'm going to just touch them. Let's see what this looks like. Now, on the ends, I could actually take the very ends and dip them in the color and get them, and it rolls right off, so as you put it on your finger, it'll come right off and it'll cover your sides real good. So as long as you've got a lot of paint on there. So I'm looking right now for any really bald spots that, like in here, I might have to take a popsicle stick to get in the very corner, but I'm going to walk around it with my hands and try to get most of it and make sure that the sides are covered. I don't care if they're all covered, but you don't want to see a big black line or a big black bald spot. So that's what I'm looking for right now, is bald spots. So Ava, this is your A. I think it's got some pretty pinks and purples, and it doesn't have the gray in this one, but I think it's really pretty. And this is your part of your Christmas present. So to me, from me to you. And tomorrow I will, as it dries, I'll bring it down and you'll see the results. Well, it turned out pretty good, and I'll take you down for a close-up in a few minutes. I want to wish Gina and Pat and Rachel and James and Levi and Ava a Merry Christmas. This is for Ava's Christmas present. Now I'm taking you down for a close-up. That middle almost looks like a lion's head, doesn't it? It's very shiny, very glossy, so I'm getting a lot of reflection. Very, very pretty. And with pink and gray, and then the purples, you can see a little bit. And here's Ava's A. Turned out very pretty. Love the colors. There's some gold, a little bit of gold, a little bit of bling, purples, and the pinks and the whites. And then the skins I was talking about that we have on the parchment paper is going to be very, very pretty, because I'm going to make necklaces out of that, jewelry out of that. And here's the skins that I took off the dipping and just spread them on parchment paper. So they'll be ready to use. If you liked what I did today, please like and subscribe. I'm trying to get 100 subscribers. And have a Merry Christmas.